Hello friends, picture this: no roads, no gas stations, just big balls and an indomitable drive for adventure. Today we take a drive to the past to learn about the first cars that drove on the soil of every country in Africa, starting from the oldest to the most recent dates. And we will be learning about some fun facts about the countries, owners, and these pioneering vehicles. It's going to be fun. Let's go. It was 1890 in Egypt, and Prince Aziz Hassan, arguably the first petrol head in Africa, acquired the French Didion Bouton. This pioneering vehicle had a single-cylinder engine which produced about 1 horsepower with a top speed of around 45 kilometers per hour. I might pronounce some names incorrectly in this video, please bear with me. 1892 Morocco. Sultan Moulay Hassan, one of Morocco, pulled up in a Daimler, later known as Mercedes-Benz. The Daimler rocked a 1-cylinder engine, pushing out 1.5 horsepower with a top speed of 18 km per hour. Fun fact: Sultan Moulay Hassan was the first person in the world to purchase a Daimler vehicle. Big flex. 1896 Libya. Abdullah Shaban Al-Zawuri got himself a Lanchester motorcar. The Lanchester motorcar rocked a 1-liter single-cylinder engine, pushing out a big 5 horsepower with a top speed of 32 km per hour. 1897 South Africa. Businessman John Percy Hess imported the first car on South Africa's soil, a Benz Velo. This car had a 1-liter single-cylinder 4-stroke engine, pushing out 3 horsepower with a top speed of 20 km per hour. 1898 Benin Republic. Victor Ballot, Lieutenant Governor of Dahomey, now known as Benin Republic, is thought to have acquired a Peugeot Type 15. The Peugeot Type 15 rocked a 2.2-liter twin-cylinder engine, pushing out 8 horsepower and a top speed of 40 km per hour. 1900 Algeria. Emile Loubet, a French colonial official, is believed to have acquired a similar Peugeot Type 15. 1900 Angola. Henrique de Paiva Cruzeiro, a Portuguese governor, is thought to have acquired a Benz Velo. The Benz Velo packed a 1-liter single-cylinder 4-stroke engine, pushing out 3 horsepower with a top speed of 20 km per hour. 1901 Mauritius. Sir Charles Bruce, the governor at the time, zooms in his Didion Bouton. This car rocked a single-cylinder engine which produced about 1 horsepower with a top speed of around 45 km per hour. 1901 Tunisia. Lucien Saint, the French resident general, was rumored to have driven a Peugeot Type 15. This car was quite popular back in the day. 1902 Ghana. Governor Matthew Nathan, a British governor, acquired the French Gardner Sapole. The Gardner Sapole was a steam engine vehicle producing 20 horsepower with a top speed of about 100 km per hour. Bro had the fastest car on the continent at the time. 1903 Nigeria. Frederick Lugard, the British High Commissioner, pulled up in a Ford Model A, marking the beginning of the automobile transportation in Nigeria. This Ford Model A had a 1.6-liter flat twin engine, pushing out 8 horsepower with a top speed of 45 km per hour. 1903 Kenya. Australian road engineer George Wilson imported a French Didion Bouton at the Mombasa Old Port. This Didion Bouton rocked a 1-liter single-cylinder engine, pushing 8 horsepower with a top speed of about 45 km per hour. 1903 Eritrea. Ferdinando Martini, the Italian governor of Eritrea, is thought to have driven a Fiat 8 HP. The Fiat 8 HP rocked a 22-liter inline 2 engine, pushing out 10 horsepower and a top speed of 45 km per hour. 1904 Djibouti. Pierre Hubert, the acting governor of French Somaliland, now known as Djibouti, is thought to have driven a Peugeot Type 63. This car packs a 1.3-liter twin-cylinder engine, pushing out 8 horsepower and a top speed of 45 km per hour. 1905 Sierra Leone. Sir Leslie Probyn, a British governor, is thought to have driven a Benz Velo. The Benz Velo packed a 1-liter single-cylinder 4-stroke engine, pushing out 3 horsepower with a top speed of 20 km per hour. 1906 Senegal. Louis Leon Cesar Faidherbe, the French governor, is thought to have cruised in a Peugeot Type 15, arguably the most popular French vehicle at the time. 1907 Ethiopia. Emperor Menelik II of Ethiopia cruised in his Daimler vehicle. This Daimler had a 6-cylinder engine pushing out 45 horsepower and a top speed of 80 km per hour. Fun fact: Emperor Menelik II was the first African ruler to successfully conquer a colonial invasion. 1908 Uganda. Sir Hesketh Bell, the governor of the Uganda Protectorate, launched his Albion 16 HP, The Albion 16 HP packed a 4-cylinder petrol engine, pushing out 16 horsepower, just as the name suggests. 1908 Namibia. Bernhard Denberg, the Secretary of German West Africa, cruised in his specially customized 4x4 Daimler vehicle, making Namibia a pioneer in the use of 4x4 vehicles. The Daimler rocked a 4-cylinder 6.7-litre engine, sending 35 horsepower to all wheels with a top speed of 49 km per hour. 1908 Zimbabwe. Sir William Henry Milton, the British administrator of Southern Rhodesia, later known as Zimbabwe, was thought to have driven a Ford Model T. The Ford Model T packed a 2.9-litre inline-4 engine, pushing out 20 horsepower with a top speed of 72 km per hour. 1908 Zambia. Lieutenant Paul Grates of Northern Rhodesia, later known as Zambia, was thought to have cruised in a similar Ford Model T. 1908 Gambia. Sir George Denton, the British governor, is presumed to have driven a Benz Velo, another very popular car at the time. 1908 Malawi. Alfred Sharp, the governor of Nyasa Land, now known as Malawi, is thought to have driven a Ford Model T. Fun fact, this particular vehicle was one of the very first cars to have an accident. This happened along Zomba Blantyre Road, which led to the vehicle falling into a river. Talk about epic fail. 1909 Sudan. Sir Reginald Wingate, the British Governor General, enjoyed overlanding in his Arrow Johnson motor vehicle. This car rocked a 4-cylinder petrol engine, pushing out 16 horsepower with a top speed of 65 km per hour. Fun fact, the Arrow Johnson motor vehicle is the first all-terrain vehicle in the world. 1910 Cameroon. Otto Gleim, the German governor of Cameroon, was thought to have cruised in his Benz Velo, a single-cylinder 4-stroke beast of a ride. 1910 Togo. Duke Adolf Friedrich, the last German governor of Togoland, was thought to have cruised in a similar Benz Velo like his counterpart in Cameroon. 1911 Côte d'Ivoire. Gabriel Angevant, the French governor at the time, was thought to have driven a Peugeot Type 15, rocking a 2.2-litre twin-cylinder engine, pushing out 8 horsepower and a top speed of 40 km per hour. 1912 Mali. William Ponty, the Governor General of French Sudan, now known as Mali, was presumed to ride in a similar vehicle, a Peugeot Type 15. This car was basically the Toyota Corolla of this era. 1916 Tanzania. Sir Horace Achabiite, the British administrator of Tanganyika, drove a Ford Model T. Fun fact, the name Tanzania was derived by combining the name Tanganyika, the mainland, and Zanzibar. 1917 Botswana. Sir Charles Ray, a British resident of Bechuanaland, now known as Botswana, is thought to have driven a similar Ford Model T like his Tanzanian neighbor. 1919 Somalia. Cesare Maria De Vecchi, the Italian governor at the time, is thought to have driven a Fiat 505. The Fiat 505 rocked a 2.3-litre inline-4 engine, pushing out 33 horsepower with a top speed of 80 km per hour. 1921 Mauritania. Xavier Copolani, a French commissioner, is thought to have driven a Peugeot Type 15. The Peugeot Type 15 rocked a 2.2-litre twin-cylinder engine, pushing out 8 horsepower and a top speed of 40 km per hour. 1922 Burkina Faso. Frederic Hesse, the French administrator of Upper Volta, now known as Burkina Faso, is rumored to have driven a similar Peugeot Type 15. 1923 Niger. Jules Brevy, the French governor at the time, was thought to have driven a similar car, the Peugeot Type 15. 1924 Chad. Ferdinand Marie Joseph, a French lieutenant governor, followed suit by driving a similar Peugeot Type 15. 1925 Central African Republic. Auguste Lamblin, the French governor of Ubangishari, now known as Central African Republic, is thought to have driven a similar car as well, the Peugeot Type 15. 1926 Gabon. Joseph Jules Bernard, the French governor, also drove the Peugeot Type 15. 1927 Mozambique. José Cabral, the Governor General of Portuguese East Africa, now known as Mozambique, is thought to have driven a Fiat 509. The Fiat 509 rocked a 1-litre inline-4 engine, pushing out 22 horsepower and a top speed of 80 km per hour. Fun fact, the Fiat 509 was one of the first vehicles to offer a hydraulic shock absorber. That's forward thinking. 1927 Congo. Raphael Antonetti, the French governor, is thought to have driven a similar Peugeot Type 15 like his Gabon neighbor. 1928 Guinea. Jean-Louis Georges Poiret, the governor of French Guinea, now known as the Republic of Guinea, is thought to have driven a similar car as well, a Peugeot Type 15. 1929 Madagascar. Marcel Achille Olivia, the French Governor-General of Malagasy Republic, now known as Madagascar, is thought to have driven a similar Peugeot Type 15. 1930 Liberia. Edwin Barclay, the president and American advisor, is thought to have driven a Ford Model T. Fun fact, around the 15th to 17th century, Liberia was known as the Grain Coast due to the abundance of meligueta pepper, also called grains of paradise. 1936 Equatorial Guinea. Miguel Hernandez, the Spanish governor at the time, is thought to have cruised in his Hispano-Suiza H6. The Hispano-Suiza H6 was a luxury automobile rocking a 6.6-litre inline-six engine, pushing out 135 horsepower and a top speed of 140 km per hour. These are big numbers for the era. 1936 Sao Tome and Principe. Ricardo Vaz Monteiro, the Portuguese governor at the time, was thought to have driven a Fiat 500 Topolino. This car rocked a 569cc inline-four engine, pushing out 13 horsepower with a top speed of 85 km per hour. 1937 Cape Verde. João de Almeida, the Portuguese governor at the time, was thought to have driven a Fiat 1500. The Fiat 1500 packed a 1.5-litre inline-six engine, pushing out 45 horsepower with a top speed of 115 km per hour. 1940 Lesotho. Sir Edmund Richards, the British resident commissioner of Basutoland, now known as Lesotho, is thought to have driven a Ford Model T, rocking a 2.9-litre inline-four engine, pushing out 20 horsepower and a top speed of 72 km per hour. 1941 Eswatini. Sir Walter Hugard, the acting High Commissioner of Swaziland, now known as Eswatini, is believed to have driven a similar Ford Model T. Fun fact, Sir Walter Hugard became a magistrate in Nigeria in 1914. 1951 Seychelles. Sir Frederick Crawford, the governor, is believed to have driven a Morris Minor. The Morris Minor packed a 918cc side valve inline-four engine, pushing out 27 horsepower with a top speed of 100 km per hour. 1956 Rwanda. Jean-Paul Haroy, the Belgian governor of Rwanda-Urundi, now known as Rwanda, is believed to have driven a Volkswagen Beetle. The Volkswagen Beetle rocked a 1.2-litre air-cooled flat-four engine, pushing out 36 horsepower with a top speed of 112 km per hour. 1957 Burundi. Remy Bourgeois, a Belgian resident, is believed to have driven a similar Volkswagen Beetle. 1960 Democratic Republic of Congo. Louis Goffin, the administrator of Belgian Congo, now known as Democratic Republic of the Congo, is thought to have driven a similar Volkswagen Beetle. 1962 Western Sahara. Rafael de Valenzuela, the governor of Spanish Sahara, now known as Western Sahara, is believed to have driven a Seat 600. The Seat 600 was a Spanish-built version of the Fiat 600. It packed a 600cc inline-four engine, pushing out 21 horsepower with a top speed of 100 km per hour. 1975 Comoros. Ahmed Abdallah, an early post-independence leader, is believed to have driven a Citroën 2CV. The Citroën 2CV rocked a 375cc air-cooled flat-twin engine, pushing out 9 horsepower with a top speed of 65 km per hour. 2011 South Sudan. Salva Kiir, the president of the newest country in the world, zooms in his Toyota Land Cruiser. The Toyota Land Cruiser packs a 5.7-litre V8 engine, pushing out 381 horsepower and 543 Nm of torque with a top speed of 210 km per hour. South Sudan might be the last country in Africa, but it certainly has the fastest car on this list. And there you have it, guys, the first cars to ever hit the road in every African country. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button for more epic car content. Until next time, as usual, cheers and drive safe.